Okay, and
and
we're
we should be.
live.
Hey, hey, what's good, Jordan?
What's good, son? How's it going? How's it going?
Doing great, bro. What a great day. What a great time to be reading manga, bro.
Hey, well, this has been a very lit day today. You got, of course, One Piece, Black Clover, My Hero. It's been a good day today for some manga, so
Hey,
I mean,
shout out
I've
to
been
Jordan
excited.
for that. My hero for that Black Clover review.
Listen, I'm
That,
trying to
hey,
diversify. Hey, trying to get the channel diversified, fam. That's all. Trying to diversify the
bro, that
channel.
is something that we were talking about trying to do with the channel. That is to diversify the type of content. And
That's
yeah,
right.
man, it's great to see you like taking that first step. That was really amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Props out to you.
I got around the issue of me not having a mic right now for my laptop. I can just like record or live stream from my phone, but it's
Yeah.
only me. I can't do it with nobody else. It's only me. That's the only
Oh
thing.
yeah, 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 yeah. That is. I
That's
think that's how it works with them
that's the only
type
thing.
of.
But no, but I guess to go ahead and get to the topic of the video. Just here to discuss 918 with One Piece. If I
Man,
could ask
that
Hassan, 'cause I know
chapter.
you said you had some things to get off your chest, so go ahead and go in, man.
Hey, thanks, bro. Um, I must say it was most definitely the best chapter since 907. 907, 909 was good with the introduction of Wano. I think that was a great one too. But
Hmm.
this one was just amazing, bro. We had the Law versus Hawkins, and then we had Luffy. The high moments of Luffy and how he was telling them that he basically is the boss. If anyone wants to come to the boss, you gotta just call Luffy Taro, and that dude's gonna be
Right.
there. Being a fucking Luffy fan, of course, you understand that that is quite actually really interesting. Well, it was intriguing to read, and then you had the Ace flashback, and I don't vibe with Ace that much as people do, and people getting their feelings for Ace and shit, which is not something that I would particularly do for him. I don't got no emotional relation to Ace, so
Right.
it was cool. I think it was cool for Tama. If anything, I was feeling more emotions towards Tama and the older brother figure she had lost and now found in Luffy. So that was really heartwarming. And then, of
Gotcha.
course, the last panel that undoubtedly is going to be talked about a lot in this stream. A lot.
I got you. Me, I mean, it was a cool chapter to me. Like it was like a 6.5. Like I don't care much for Otama, but just reading it and seeing her connection with Ace and Luffy, it was cool to see. It was cool seeing Hawkins and Law do have another, Oda, of course, dick teasing us and not giving us what we want, but it's all good. It was cool seeing that little clash, and then I don't really like the whole. I don't like the whole grave stuff. To be honest, I'm probably the one of the few people that will say that, but I don't care for the grave stuff or
Hmm.
like it because it just adds more confusion, just adds more questions. It's just more things to consider or think about, which I don't really want to or care to be honest. So I didn't really care for the grave stuff, but I mean, it's a nice little piece to add to the story. So it is what it is. I think it was cool. I mean, also too, I'm guessing Otama is just a animal tamer now. She could tame any animal. I'm at this point now. I'm guessing. Like I guess she's just a hack.
Let's get straight to the point because I know I think you probably heard about the theory of her taming Kaido. How do you feel about that one, Jordan?
That's stupid. Cause from what I'm seeing or from what kind of I can guess using my head canon, she can only tame animals, and Zoans aren't really like small users because Zoans more doe fruit. I guess it's hard to say doe fruit users that
But
that aren't their animal, while small users are their animal or
yeah, but
whatever it is. That
what
makes
if
sense.
Kaido is like a beast that got turned into a human or was taught human speech in a way and took the shape of a human and she's
See,
able to tame? Would you
see.
really love it or would you hate it? Where would you place yourself?
With me being, I guess you could say Kaido's fanboy or whatever, or I would hate it. To be honest, I would hate it because that would be trash. If one of the supposed four strongest pirates can get tamed by a little 6-year-old girl, that's a little trash in my opinion. But I mean, if that's the story, then hey, that's the story. He's like, go with it.
Oh yeah, of course. Hey, what's good? Cool. What's up, man?
Super cool here.
What's up?
What's good,
Yeah, I'm
cool?
here.
Yeah, he's
What's
here.
good?
What's good, bro? How do you feel about that chapter, bro?
I like it. I liked it a lot. I liked it a whole lot. In my opinion, like I think if you're a Luffy fan and like you like have any kind of fondness for Ace as a character, you'll like this chapter regardless of the rest of the shit. And like the fact that they gave us something to talk about in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. That that was planned very well, and the panel structure was amazing. The point of views, the panel with the Law and Hawkins, their sword clash, where they were pointing out at each other, that was amazing, bro. Props up
Great
to
art.
Oda for that, bro.
Great art, great art. I think like to me, another thing it does for me, it kind of validates like the chapters before it. Like to me, like I ain't the biggest fan of the Hold'em chapter and the sumo wrestler fan. I still like those chapters, but like the build up to get to the point where like okay, he did the Red Hawk and she see him do the Red Hawk because that was all that
Yeah,
was building up to just showing the Red Hawk and making him like give a moment where like oh that was just like Ace. Like that's the like to me that build up, you know what I'm saying, matched the payoff in my opinion. Cause it meant something to me seeing that in my opinion.
well, like I said earlier, and to piggyback on what you were saying now, it really is. You'll enjoy the chapter if you really like Ace and Luffy. I for one don't don't like Ace that much as I mentioned earlier, but I
Mm-hmm.
love Luffy. I love he's probably my second character.
Yeah, he's
Like
my favorite character in the story.
yeah,
Give me 5 seconds real quick. I'll be right back. I'm
I
gonna be
bet bet
right
bet
back. I'm
bet
gonna get the move.
bet bet bet. Bet.
Well, son, with the Grace, I'll go to that. Ask that. What do you think with the Grace stuff? Do you think the Grace stuff is it like? Do you think it's fake? Like the just the Grace that showed like just fake tension because they may have just posted fake graves, or what do you think they could actually be dead or whatever? Like, what do you think? So I've heard some
I'm gonna say oh
interesting
okay.
things.
Here's my thing on that matter. I'd say they are all ghosts from long ago that were, well, not necessarily reincarnated, but their souls inhabited a certain human form, which we see now as Momonosuke and the retainers, of course. So I'm gonna say, since we see the Kozukis, the graves of Momonosuke, Odin, and then there's a Kozuki behind them, which is probably their Odin's wife and Momonosuke's mother. They have like a special type of hat above their tombstone. So since Momonosuke is one, like he's the same as Odin in every way in that panel, I think Odin would be alive as since Momonosuke is alive too. And I made up a Facebook post where I'm gonna link it in the description. And forgive me if you heard this a lot of times because I've been spamming it everywhere this week. Sorry, today since I called it. Fuck you. Uh,
Oh
but
my goodness,
I
this guy.
said I said Odin was gonna be alive back in chapter 18. It was like back in 2016. So yeah, I think that Odin is really alive. You remember back in 818, they said, oh, or Odin said, "My name is Odin. It's only fitting that I die being boiled." Of course, the pun here is a pun on Odin noodles, which is just
Right.
it's a bad pun given this situation. Of course, he's going to be dying. What's the joke serving in this context? So I think that somehow Odin's gonna be alive or he's gonna come back to life. So yeah, bitch, if that happens, I called it. Fuck y'all.
But
That's it.
I guess for me, and I like that. I like that. For me, with the whole Odin stuff, is that we know he's dead. It's just, I guess, waiting to see if the timelines match up from what we were told in the Zoe, or just like supposedly him dying like a couple months ago, or if he's been dead for like years. And I guess like theories say like Wano is either stuck in time or has his own little time vortex or time loop or something. It's I want to get see what that leads to, if just because if there is a time loop or whatever, then what does that make Kaido or what does that make the Shogun? Like, is Kaido older than what he think he is? So he could kind of be like some. ancient creature or whatever, or some BS like that,
Mm.
or the Shogun or the daimyos that are there, whatever. Um, how old are they? Like, it's I guess it'd be interesting to see how all that plays out. Like, is Wano, does it really exist, or is it like, or could it be something like its own little, I'd say like a mirage or like something like that effect? Like,
Yeah,
if you were to like do something on the island, they would just destroy everything, and then Wano
yeah.
just cease to exist. I don't
No,
know.
I'd say this. If anything, Wano exists and the people there are real and everything. But aside from the 8 characters that will be shown in the future fully, basically, being like the retainers, Odin, and the rest. And the thing is, like, remember Okiku? There's a famous Japanese story called Kiku and the Ghosts. So I think she might be part of the ghosts that were dead back a while ago. And they said, what was her name? The girl Otsuru. Otsuru said basically, Okiku came here a month ago. Punk Hazard in the timeline of One Piece happened a month ago. So I think there have to be a relation between Kinemon, Momonosuke, and Kanjuro departing from Wano and Okiku going to the tea house. So she might be one of them, especially since there's like I said, a famous Japanese story called Okiku and the Ghosts. That would be really interesting to see how she interacts with them as they come back, and she knows if how Luffy, Zoro, and Law are part of the alliance. That would be intriguing to see.
What's good, Zoro? Oh, I'm sorry, Martin. Let's say
Good.
Hayden. What's good,
Oh
fam?
shit, my nigga was here too.
Everything.
I didn't even see him.
Not much. How you doing, man?
I'm
Just
back
another
too
day in
now.
paradise.
How you think of chapter, fam? What you think of chapter?
I thought it was a good chapter. I especially like the Law and Hawkins fight, or scuffle, because it just proves how freaking broken Hawkins is.
To me, it didn't really show much. To be honest, with that whole scuffle. I mean, it was
Broken.
cool to see, but I don't think it showed much. To be
What
honest,
series are you reading, nigga? Didn't you hear him say that he couldn't have done anything against Luffy when Holden
no,
and Speed were there too?
actually, it said, he said the whole group. He said
Yeah,
the
he
whole
said me
group,
too. If I was there, I wouldn't be able to do shit because that's
and
the
that's
thing.
Luffy. That's the whole group: Luffy, Zoro, and Hawkins,
Law.
because he was reporting about
No,
everything.
no, no, no.
So
But
he
they
said,
were talking about the problem. The problem was ignited by Luffy versus Hold'em, and then Speed was there. So he's talking about Luffy specifically. Fuck you for doubting Luffy.
I don't doubt Luffy. I'm just saying you talk about Zoro and
Hey
Luffy
Jordan, you throw
together.
the most shade at him, bro.
Oh
Come
my
on,
God! See, you trying to get a
come
rise out
on,
of me.
bro.
See, listen, I'm in a good mood. I'm not. Hey, I ain't going up right now, son. I'm not going there right
Bro,
now.
I'm
I'm gonna
really
say
just
this.
fucking with you.
I know. That's what I said. I already know.
That's all right.
God
Yeah.
damn, bro.
I'm one of the biggest Lucas fans ever, son. But you know what he meant when he said that shit. Ain't no way he can beat all three of them. Ain't no way he can
Exactly.
beat all three of them. We
Nah,
knew that before
wait.
he said it.
Really? No. I really wanted them 10% believe that Luffy is really able to beat all of them single-handedly.
Nah, I don't know.
Here's the thing.
I mean, from feats,
I'd be
yeah.
mad.
Speed is literally fodder.
I'd be mad.
Speed
I'd
is
be
not
mad if
even
Hawkins could beat all
accounted
three.
for.
If he could beat all three of them, I'd be mad.
Hold them is shit, bro. And then Hawkins is the
Speed
only
has
one that
got
would
to.
make
He's got
Luffy
to.
go into like gear second or something. But that's about it. And then gear second and you're dead.
Hey, Speed wasn't tamed. She allowed them to feed her.
Man, Speed was tame, man. Listen,
Bro, was
Speed tame.
Speed is a masochist, bro.
She's turned into a straight.
Bro.
She was a straight slave.
Bro, that girl is a masochist. Get the fuck out of my face with that shit.
You really think Luffy
That's
how we
Kentucky.
don't take Luffy to Gear 4? I think if you were Supernova, you at least take him to Gear 4 now.
Oh
Like,
hell no! I think
Nah.
right now, bro, right now,
Nah.
Luffy
Super
is
cool,
fucking
super
down.
cool. You don't know Hassan, bro. Hassan,
Bro, I
you was a
breed
fan.
Luffy.
No, Hassan is he. Listen, he breed Luffy. You love him. He breed Luffy. He is Luffy now.
Bro, here's the thing. Like, I'm not even joking. That's the weird part because I really think that Gear Second Luffy can take on any supernova aside from probably Kid, Apoo, and
Hassan, you just
what was
sound
his
trash
name?
right now, Hassan.
Hawkins'
Hassan,
ability pretty much gives him like he can tank anything.
No, but
exactly, Hassan,
he
you
can't
sound trash,
tank
fam.
plus 10. And that's
Like seriously, like in his ability in like Dragon Ball universe, he'd be able to take like one hit from Goku, and that'd be still one death. It wouldn't like encompass like a
Well,
million
yeah,
deaths. Or
but if Luffy uses his either his speed forms, Gear Second being one of them, he could really give him a run for his money.
I mean, so far, freaking Hawkins he seems very casual about everything.
Yeah, but Hawkins, I don't know about his conviction, bro. Like I've seen from Kid. Kid showed heart, bro.
We haven't seen much right now.
I used to hate Kid's guts, bro. I really hated Kid. But then again, like Kid really stood his grounds and did something about it. Not like the bitch ass nigga Hawkins. Apoo, I mean, I don't give much care about Apoo. Apoo is good, but Apoo did what's good for his agenda. And then Killer, I don't know what Killer is. Hey, shout out to Smokey and Apoo. That nigga.
Same thing I always say about that situation. Like knowing we know about Hawkins. Hawkins would have read them cards and seen his chances of winning that fight and be like, that shit's small. We got a small. It's the same shit Dr. Strange did in Infinity War. Like, we got this much % chance of surviving. So I'm just gonna go join Hawkins. I mean, I'm gonna go and join Kaido. And we know about Apoo. He's a scaredy cat. Like he pussy. So he gonna go join Hawkins. Like the only person like I'm not knowing what I know about them characters. I'm not surprised at all how that shit took place.
I mean, look, I think if anything, it would benefit Luffy's faction to have Hawkins with them, because that would really help them to, in a certain way, to win against Kaido. Since Hawkins knows about the possibilities and the probabilities, and Luffy's potentially gonna push his life force through to the limits to defeat Kaido. So somewhere, Hawkins has to come in handy for Luffy's faction.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that he is going to be an ally.
Of course.
Ever since the supernovas were introduced, Hawkins was always my favorite, just because his ability.
His ability is really cool. I'd say that.
I want to see more, because we haven't seen this man do much with just stand still, take hits, and then just absorb everything. So I would like to know more about his abilities. If he has more to his abilities.
I gotta point out, hey, Hassan, didn't you say that Zoro killed Hawkins like twice or 3 times?
Oh yeah, he did.
No, he didn't, because apparently he doesn't need to die.
What I said is that during that confrontation, it only took him about 2 seconds to kill 3 of Hawkins' dolls. So, given that Zoro is really physically strong and can endure a lot, he can basically fight a long-term fight. So, given how Zoro is really hacks and how his powers, his potential is higher than anyone in the series aside from Luffy's. So yeah, I'd say Hawkins would lose to Zoro mid-diff at best. At best.
That's an extreme diff fight. I don't.
That is disrespectful.
I disrespect Supernovas for one fact: the fact that Kaido himself put them as headliners, bro. Headliners are ass, bro.
Shit, how are you
putting them as headliners?
This the thing. Same thing with Luffy and Big Mom. Exactly. What?
I couldn't hear that. Sorry.
I was saying, how far up do you think they're gonna go when they just join his crew?
I think
a couple days ago.
They should have at least given them a rank somewhere between a headliner and a calamity, because that's what they
joined their crew like a week ago.
Yeah, and we know that
they were hacks, bro. It's disrespectful to put them with Holden.
Hold on, wait this thing. You know what headliners? Literally, headliners are right below calamities. Like they all under a calamity.
And you know above who they are? They are above pleasures, bro. Pleasures are jack shit, bro. They don't do anything.
That's true.
And even headliners, bro. We had Sheep's Head, and then we had what was his name? Holden and Speed. None of them showed any interesting feat. Like nothing.
I agree, but all I'm saying is if they just joined his crew like a week ago, we got to put that in, like, you know what I'm saying? We got to put that in the context when we talk about their role. Like they joined the crew. Well, they fought Kaido like right when we were being Doflamingo, and that's like 2 weeks ago in One Piece time. So like for them to even have a role, like period, in a week is like saying something. I think if they were on the crew for longer, they have a higher role. Cause like
Okay, here's the thing. At least, if not, give them a rank between headliners and calamities. You should have just kept them as subordinates and left it that way ambiguous. Better than just naming them as in the same tier as people who are fodder, bro.
I agree with that.
I
I
mean,
agree with
I
that.
Apple,
mean,
Apple is
so
really
far what
strong,
we
bro.
know, they're the headliners, and then there's the lower rank, and that was it. Like,
But
Pleasures.
I don't think there's any. If you're not in those two ranks, then you're not in the crew, I guess.
I mean, but I think he could have subordinates and allies. That would have, but to have them just join the crew, and what happened to their crews? Do
the
they
way
We don't know.
do they just join the headliner team or something?
They most
the way
likely
I
freaking
look at it though,
dissolved
I look at
into
it like
Idol crew.
you go ahead, Mark.
Oh, that was pretty much done.
I was saying like the way I look at it like the vice admiral tier. Like vice admirals are like way
That's a
different. It's a
wide
big
range,
ass
bro.
gap.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Hmm. Speaking of vice admirals, do you think the Marines are gonna get involved in Wano soon?
I don't think so.
Like, do you
At
think
this
that we see
at
Marines
this
that
rate, I
Wano?
don't see
Yeah,
why.
I don't
I
think
don't.
I think they have to be there. I think they have to be there to report what happened. But like, I don't think they like come until really later on. They ain't
I
gonna play
mean,
like an important role, like to do with the plot. You know what I'm saying? Like how in Dressrosa, like Fujitora was really important to the plot and shit. I don't think
hmm
they like factor in this place. I think they just gonna pop up at the end so we can like tell what happened. Like the world got to know what happened to.
yeah. I mean, especially someone gotta get there to carry Kaido's body.
Goat Selena is about to show up and just take everyone out.
Yo, that dude got big in his head. That dude was talking mad shit about the Yonkos. Like, chill, my guy. But here's the thing: there's like a lot of characters in One Piece who have the potential to be at the same power tier as Yonkos, but they need, of course, crew, that bigger crew and territory to be considered Yonkos, of course. I'd say Borsellino is one of them. His power is crazy, bro. He could move at the speed of light, which is
According to the
mind-boggling.
One Piece special, that nigga's a god.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh yeah, that special
Pretty
had me
much.
dying, bro. And Zoro was going head to head with Fujitora.
And he got no scratches on him after that. Like, oh my god, that is so
Hey,
crazy.
that's the crew of the future Pirate King, bro. That's the respect they need, bro, and they deserve it, every bit of it. Of course, we know Apoo is gonna be the next Pirate King, but whatever.
Oh my God! Listen,
Hey, bro,
you want Smokey with
y'all,
this with that trash,
I
bro,
know,
bro?
I
With
y'all
know.
that
sleep on
trash, I
Apoo,
ain't
bro.
got time for that. Cause you know
Y'all
it's a
really sleep on
Rouge,
Apoo, bro. If
Pirate King of Rouge. It's a Pirate King of Rouge. You
Rouge,
know what time it is.
here's the thing with Uruj. Uruj is a good hand-to-hand fighter, but given the scheme of One Piece and how the powers are crazy there, how's Uruj gonna fight in a long-range fight? Let alone a fight with people with hacks abilities, people with higher hockey tier than his. If he got any uh, other types of hockey, his crew's kind of fodder. We know literally no one from his crew. We know a lot
I,
of characters from the other Supernova's crews, but not his.
I just was having a conversation about that in the Discord too. I was talking about like how Hawkins' power works. I was like, Hawkins in himself is really OP against people with like Hack's devil fruit abilities.
Oh
Cause like
yeah,
how law shit works, the fact that like when he cut people in his room, you don't die. So that shouldn't take away a dog. So like, you know what I'm saying? He
yeah,
do
yeah,
real
yeah,
good
yeah.
against Law, but he ain't gonna do good against like physical fighters like Luffy or Zoro or Rouge. Like people that ain't got like hex ass abilities, they fuck him up. Like,
Yeah,
but that
that's
doesn't mean that
right.
he's stronger than Hawkins though. You know what I'm saying? He got a better matchup against Hawkins. Hawkins doesn't do good, in my opinion, against physical fighters, based on what we know presently.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that totally.
Yeah.
But yeah,
If
go
I
ahead,
could
Joe.
ask a question, because it's another do the chapter. What y'all think is gonna happen with Jack? Because supposedly y'all know Jack is on Wano now. He got fished out and everything. So what's gonna happen with Jack? Like what's gonna happen with him? Because I don't. To me, I see him just doing being Jack pulling up reckless and just causing mayhem, just with a fade ready for somebody. That's what I see happening. He's just gonna come up with pull up with a fade, no
I
talking.
still don't know how. I still don't know how I want to feel about that shit too. Cause we were just talking about that too earlier. I kind of don't know how I want to feel because like depending on who we fight, like it can go bad like either way. Cause like okay, if he go fight Luffy, people gonna complain because that's just another Luffy fight, and people tired of Luffy getting all the fight. And if he go fight Zoro, he's just like Zoro will win, but like Zoro gonna get fucked up. And if Zoro get another fight in the arc, it's just gonna
Pretty
be like
much,
an
yeah.
excuse. All the whole arc long, you're gonna be like Zoro still fucked up from the fight that he had with Jack. And then like the Zoro fans are gonna be like, because he's gonna win his fight at the end of the arc too. So Zoro fans, they're gonna be like, oh, Zoro's way stronger than him. The only reason Zoro was like even like written bad in the fight is because he got beat up by Jack. He got all the excuses. Zoro's so strong, blah blah blah. And he's just gonna be annoying that way.
I'm
And then the third,
assuming that Katakuri is as strong as Jack, and if Zoro beats Jack by himself, I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
I think gonna be the same. I think whoever Zoro gonna fight in this arc is just gonna be like he gonna get the same power up Luffy got. And
But why
then he'll
not,
be
though?
stronger.
Why not? Because look at his aspirations, bro. He's setting up to be the greatest swordsman ever in a country of swordsmen, and he's the right hand of Luffy. So, in a way, like I get what y'all say by that being bullshit. But I think Luffy being where he is now is bullshit, given that he is young, and if he manages to beat Kaido and the Yonko becomes a Pirate King at the age of 19. I call bullshit on that because he's still got potential to grow. He's still got years ahead of him where he's going to be
Zoro can be the world's greatest swordsman at 20. Zoro can be the world's greatest swordsman at 20, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's something wrong with Luffy being Pirate King?
No. The same thing applies to Zoro. Like I call bullshit on that, but just how the story works, I think Zoro will somehow be a very high-ranking member of the Kaido faction. And of course, like I said, like we all, I think agree that it's going to be bullshit in a way, but still, I just see that happening.
Like what I'm saying is like the way I always like try and rationalize, I'll be like, okay, like what's going to happen is Zoro going to go fight somebody that's on the same level of Katakuri and he's going to get a power up too. Like I wouldn't be surprised during his fight, he like unlocked like the second level of ornament in his fight. And like Luffy need to unlock it too, but like when Luffy go beat Kaido, however he go beat Kaido, whether it will help, how we all like think it's gonna be. When he go beat Kaido, he's gonna get another power up to put him on top, like over the top of Zoro. Cause like how they usually be portrayed, like Luffy will get a power up, then the next arc Zoro will get a power to put them equal, but like Luffy will beat somebody stronger, so he's still like more dominant because he's the captain at the end of the day.
Man, what I need Oda to do is put some respect back on Sanji's name.
He got a whole power up. Send in his jacket pocket.
Because I don't really need another Zoro fight because I already know he's fucking strong. I just need him to prove that Sanji is actually strong too.
Sanji's strong in his own ways, but I hope he just like proves something in this arc. As much as I don't like Sanji, I really hope he does something.
But I don't need him to prove nothing. Like at this point, I know what time it is. At this point, like everybody has a role and they gonna fit it. So at this point, as long as you get a fight, just look cool fighting. It's whatever to me at this point.
I just want him to fight somebody that look cool. That's all I want. Cause like I already know whoever Zoro fight gonna look cool. I know that for a fact because he gonna like that nigga got name like shoot his load off like Roman Reigns and like that nigga that's over the WWE. Like, he could love that nigga.
Yeah.
So he's gonna make him look good. I hopefully he'll have Sanji find somebody that looks cool. So it, like when we see the fight in the anime and shit, it'll be like a cool looking fight.
Yeah. To touch on what Smokey was saying in the chat, that Luffy's gonna get awakening against Kaido. How do y'all feel about that? Like maybe mid fight, y'all see Luffy awakening?
I mean,
I don't know how that's gonna be set up.
I mean, regardless of the story, it makes sense. I wouldn't like it. Let's say if it's written well and it makes sense, then I don't care. But if it's not, then I'll probably have an issue. But it's whatever. It's whatever. I mean, it eventually has to happen. So if it happens against Kaido, it makes sense if it has to happen because it should be like a super extreme death fight. Supposed to be at least, so it makes sense or whatever. I mean, him mastering his fruit, this quick is I don't like it, but hey, it is what it is.
I can already tell it's probably going to be as pretty much like hockey, where it blooms in battle.
Oh
The way
God, I
People
hate
are
that.
definitely going to be calling freaking asshole and everything.
the way I look at it, the way I try and value it, I just be like, to me, the best way for him to do it, in my opinion, would just be like to let him get second level ornament. However, like do the hockey bloom shit again and let him do second level ornament so we can go and get that out the way. Because if he just get awakening through that shit, do you know how many people gonna complain and call ass pull and blah 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 like all this shit? At least we already, you know what I'm saying, cognizant and aware of the fact that hockey blooms in extreme situations. We just went through that shit. So people ain't really gonna complain because that shit was already set up. But if he just like, to me, awakening should be like, if he don't get it again, Blackbeard, like he need to get like either he get like the Kings hockey like hockey blooming shit against Blackbeard, or he get awakening against Blackbeard. One of them two have to happen. He gonna save the Kings hockey shit to the end, or he gonna like do it before then. But I feel like, to me, it's still too early for, because to me, all I think awakening is just him being able to like use Gear Forth whenever he want to and like switch forms of Gear Forth. Or go giant. That'd be cool. If he could turn into a giant, that'd be cool.
I mean, I hope there's more to awakening because as far as we've seen, especially with the paramecia, it's just the ability of affecting your surroundings. I really hope it touches upon more on Luffy's forms and gears. Maybe a gear fifth. I don't like the idea of a new gear, to be honest. I just want him to hone his gear fourth. And I think a lot of people agree with
I'm
that.
kind of hoping he becomes like a pseudo Logia, like be more like Plastic Man or something.
Because like to me, whenever I think of an awakening, I just be like, whatever his awakening be, it's gonna be like too broken. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's why I be like, okay, if you just give him like a better level of ornament, you can still make the fight, you know what I'm saying, kind of some way like look like, okay, he still shouldn't win this fight. But I feel like if you just give him awakening, he gonna be too broken. And then they're gonna like turn the tides of the fight too much, in my opinion.
Bro, I don't see
And
Luffy
so far,
winning
freaking
against Kaido.
Awakens are already freaking broken as fuck. Like Katakuri was doing like Robin level, like pulling arms out of everywhere and shit.
Yeah, that shit's broken.
I mean, to me, all way I see it makes sense him awakening. If you scale up the people he got to fight, so if Luffy get awakening because he knows it's gonna be something retarded or something ridiculous, then you gotta scale up the people he got to fight. I guess later on in the story. So if like Luffy over here bouncing around or off the air and stuff, or turning anything he touches the rubber or whatever, then you gotta scale up the, I guess, Whitebeard can create infinite night or something, some BS like that off the top of my head. Like it has to be something where it just scales up to the Lucas Awakening, pretty much make it at least a good fight when you fight these people.
You think he's gonna get Blackbeard in Awakening too? That's just too, bro. He can't. Nah, that's just too much.
He's already got.
But cool. So I'm saying cool. That's what cool. I'm saying you got to scale them up. Again, you know how you are. You always say the better the villain is, the more it let Luffy shine. So I mean,
but here's the thing. Look, with the Awakening shit. Sorry to cut you off. But the thing with the Blackbeard, what if Blackbeard makes his vortex or whatever that thing's called, the not the vortex, but the black thing he does on the
black hole?
Was it black hole? The thing where on the ground where he sucks up people.
It's black hole. No, it's black hole and liberation. So you suck some black hole and then there's liberation.
Maybe Blackbeard does a black hole, but Luffy affects his surroundings and covers much more space than Blackbeard could cover, and that's how he nullifies that ability. And then he still got to deal, of course, with the vortex, which renders his Denfru unable to usage basically, but still beat him somehow. I don't know. But the thing that I wanted to touch upon more is Kaido, because. Like, frankly speaking, I don't see Luffy winning against Kaido in any situation, in any scenario. I don't see Luffy winning as he is right now. And even like potentially how strong he can get in 2 or 3 fights against Kaido, I still think he wouldn't be able to beat him unless if we get like more help and more prowess to Luffy's faction and they all head to Kaido. Which I don't think that's possible too, because Kaido has people with him, so people gotta fight Kaido's minions too. Still, like, how do y'all see Luffy beating Kaido?
Can I say one thing? I want to address something.
Of course.
I think like he talking about the fact that Hawkins said something that implies that Wano could last a month, I'm of the opinion, the way I think the rest of the story lasts a month. I think that's how long we got until he become Pirate King. I think like the reason why I think that because I think like Wano is gonna be over with before the end of the Reverie, and like that's why we cut through the Reverie halfway, and the Reverie lasts 7 days, and that's why the reason he gave it like a time limit. Like we gotta whatever happens at the end of Wano is gonna be like a point of reference whenever we go back to the Reverie. That's why I think it ain't gonna last a month. I think we have like a month until he become Pirate King and beat all the rest of the Yonko. In my opinion, that's what we say. Like,
I agree with that.
Bro,
yeah, but like,
I got chills, bro. Speaking about this,
yeah, that's wild. That's crazy. Like,
that's amazing, bro.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think that's what he's saying. He's like, it's like what he was like. It's like a 35% chance or something like that you might still be alive in a month. And like, if he gonna fight like 4 Yonkos and shit like that, it's a 35% chance he gonna survive that long. That's why I think that meant.
It was lower than that. It was like 19,
bro.
I believe.
Yeah, it said 19. Yeah, but still, that's quite high given who we are facing. And Big Mom's coming too, bro. And the Navy potentially, and Emu start getting him. Well, everyone's turning their fangs on Luffy right now. He's still gonna manage to pull through all that. God damn.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. But like when it comes to how he gonna beat Kaido, I think like the main he gonna get help. Like that. I've accepted it now. Like that's just the way One Piece go. He get help. It's just that simple. Like
I just get into the fact that he will get help eventually. Even Oda said like he don't care about whether you like him getting help or not. Luffy is going to get the help from everybody around him. And even remember when Mihawk said that that's the scariest power in the seas. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's how he beats Kaido.
Yeah, I think Kid gonna play like a real big role in how he beat Kaido. He gonna be like a huge role in the grand scheme of things. I can't see him fighting anybody else but helping Luffy fight Kaido. It's gonna be like some Doflamingo shit, but like to a greater scale, in my opinion. It's gonna be like more people helping it because I still think I know a whole bunch of people don't like it, but I think like all the supernovas that are there are gonna be helping him go beat Kaido. It's gonna be like Kaido versus Luffy and all the other supernovas that are there, except for probably Zoro. I think Zoro gonna get his own 1v1 fight against whoever the strongest swordsman is on Wano. Zoro gonna have to fight them he gonna have to fight him in a one-on-one fight and beat him in a one-on-one fight.
And I hope all the has to get their 1v1s.
Yeah,
because I need some more freaking Brook.
I want a Robin fight.
Other than getting his ass beat by Yonko.
I want a Robin fight. That's what I need. I need that in my life right now. We ain't seen her fight since like.
Yeah, I mean, freaking Robin. I always get pissed off every time I see Robin. I would always bullshit.
We've gotten one Robin chapter in 2 years. I just want to see Robin. Period.
I remember in like Dressrosa, man. Like she freaking made that mistake of getting touched by Sugar. That was some bullshit. Like there is no way that she's that stupid.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't know. That was just that
was just like a plot thing. Like you can't just end the story like that quick.
Yeah, like, that was just a plot device, but still, like Dressrosa had a lot of points that didn't make any sense in the scheme of the arc itself. So,
I mean, the greatest fight was in that arc, though.
I'd argue Katakuri
Frankie versus Senior Pink.
I knew you meant that, and not the Doflamingo fight. I knew you meant
is that my man's Hemmings? What's good, bro?
What's going on, man? I'm sorry about the last 2 days, bro. I knocked out every time you guys started. I'm like, try to stay up. And shit.
Hey, it's cool, bro. You know, sometimes
I'm old, man. I sleep. I'm old, so.
That's fine, man. That's fine, man.
9 p.m. hits and I'm tired. Thinking about bed.
Hey, you did
this, man.
Wait, you did a live reaction, right?
Yeah.
Hey, go check out the live reaction. I'm gonna link it down below. Let me see.
Did y'all see the theory I had? Was y'all talking about y'all theory about the graves and shit?
Man, fix your theory, fam. We don't care about your theory at all. We don't care about your theory, fam. We don't care at all.
I think everybody.
Never mind. I ain't even gonna do that. I'll tell you that later off there. I'll tell you that joke off there.
Was it cool? I was like, was the theory cool?
My theory is that the way I think it, I think like somebody got like a fruit or whatever, It's either one or two things. But I want it to be this most and foremost. Somebody got a fruit that can able like trap them in time or something like cryogenics. You like you know when you be like frozen in time or some shit like that. Something like that, something to that effect. And that's the reason why they like, you know what I'm saying, why Momonosuke was able to know that to know all that shit about Roger, how you know that shit about all them, and like because like when they were telling it back in the day, I think it was on like one of the last couple of chapters, they were like Odin got took care of like 20 years ago or some shit like that. That's when he had stepped down. So that explained that explained like because I think the quote that Momonosuke said about Roger, he was like, "Yeah, I met Roger, but I was real young when I met Roger." So like he met Roger like 20. I think Roger. They say Roger came to Wano like 24 years ago or like 25 years ago. So if they've been frozen in time for like 20 years and Momo like 8, he'd be like 4 or 5, 4 or 3, like around the age of that. You know what I'm saying? So he'd be young. That'll fit that caveat. And then they like talking like the way they talked about Odin, it was like that nigga got killed like a couple months ago. But if they got, you know what I'm saying, frozen in time, it'll still feel like he got killed a couple months ago to them. And that explain why the graves and shit look old. You know what I'm saying? It explained a whole bunch of shit.
I mean, they specifically said that he died like I think they said like 8 months ago or something. They specifically mentioned the date back in, and that was weird.
Yeah, because like it just, to me, that makes more sense than the whole island being trapped in time. Because like the problems I got with that is when they be saying like, because like we know Ace went there, and the island trapped in time. If Ace was there for a long time, Ace should be older. You know what I'm saying? If he left there, because like it's weird. Like you know what I'm saying? In my opinion. But like to me, that'll make most sense. It's either that or somebody got some time travel shit, and I do not want it to be no time travel shit because that just makes shit way more complicated than it has to be.
Yeah, fuck that.
I thought Momo was Odin for the longest time.
What?
Hemmings. Hemmings. What are your thoughts on chapters, Hemmings? I have not heard them yet.
You know, I loved it, man. That was great to me from start to finish. And you guys know that I'm, you know, Hawkins. You know, Hawkins is my boy. So like. I don't like the disrespect that people were kind of giving him. So like a lot of wash easily, you know. I'm like, I don't know, it's pretty even to me. What happened to the wash, guys?
Wait, bro, what's they wash? Who said it was a wash?
This is what I was seeing. And like they're like Lock-ins getting washed by Law. I'm like, I don't know about this.
Wow, it was a tie. If nothing else, is man Hawkins knocked off Law hat or whatever.
But they were saying this prior to the chapter. Like this is.
That's true.
I thought the speed thing was mad funny. Like that made me laugh. Like good comedy. Like I was dying from the get go. Luffy basically channeling Ace. Like you know he's doing things that Ace would have done, and you know like how Tama looks up to Ace. Like all that shit put me in my feelings. I love all that stuff. It was really good. Like I feel like Ace is very involved in Wano, even though he's not here. So I think Oda's doing a good job with that. I think the clash that he did with Law and Hawkins was really good and interesting. Just because. I feel like he showed off Hawking's perceptiveness because I think that him and Law are very similar to how they have very, very tricky and weird abilities, but they're both very cerebral. You know, like Luffy's very instinctual. He's an ape. He just does shit. Those guys will think, calculate. You know, they're methodical in their approach. So like, Law's abilities to tell. You go room, you should know it's Law. But Hawkins was smart enough to even recall their alliance with Luffy, having seen him before and recognize his own tattoos. So I'm like, this guy's paying attention.
I like that too. I like that a lot about Law. Like, about Hawkins. Like he just instantly bet. Who is that? That is him. Bet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, people underestimate Hawkins a lot. So that doesn't come as a surprise anyway.
Like you were fine. Like you know, that's I understand that. Like you were fine. But it's all good.
I don't even think
your mic is trash again.
I don't think they underestimate him for real. I just think like they love Law so much. They love Law like no matter what. So whoever
Law tards, bro.
Hold on, sorry. Is it good now? Wait, hold on. Is it good now or? Oh, bet. Oh yeah, fuck Law tards. I don't know where this Law love has come from, but I get.
It was the flashback, bro. I remember the flashback days back in the chapters. People were going crazy over Law.
Like niggas love Law.
My favorites.
It's understandable. Like I think that his popularity is warranted. I think you hit on the head where it's mostly like we just don't know. You don't know about Hawkins. We know so much more about Law, so they're just like people are naturally inclined to just side with them because the more you see about someone, the stronger you think they're at. But you have to understand that everybody is going on a journey in some sense and growing in their own ways. These guys are all captains, minus Killer and Zoro, of the worst generation. Like you cannot walk up to. No one is washing anybody easily if they're in confrontation. And Hawkins and Law are different types of fighters. They don't fight with their emotions. Well, a little bit with the Luffy stuff, but that was personal. But it's like these guys think a lot more, right? Luffy just like, I'm an ape. I'm gonna throw hands. Like I feel like Luffy would have a hard time fighting Hawkins because of how tricky Hawkins could be.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
I mean, it'd be kind of hard for him because every time he throws a punch at Hawkins just could come back and with his own attack at the same time.
Cause like the way I look at it, like I don't think he was in here him when I had went in detail about it. I was like, in my opinion, the way I look at Hawkins fights real good against people like, you know what I'm saying, like hacks abilities. Like people like Law who cut you in half and can't do damage, you know what I'm saying? They don't take away a dog, but if like Luffy can just like keep hitting that nigga and keep like, you know what I'm saying, doing enough damage to kill him, like he really fuck him up. Cause like in the grand scheme of things, based on what we seen present, I don't think Hawkins has enough DC to like knock Luffy out in a fight. But I know for a fact Luffy got enough DC to kill him like 10 times before he can kill him.
My general rebuttal to that is just that
we haven't seen anything yet.
A lot of times in One Piece, like I know that fights can just kind of be like, you know, the stronger, faster person wins, but that's not always the case. Like it varies. And I think one of the best examples of this is Foxy. So in Davy Back fight, I don't think anyone thought for any reason Foxy should give Luffy any trouble. That's just this shouldn't happen. But they fought on his terms, in his environment. Plus, he's a sneaky cheat, and Luffy doesn't do well against people who lie, cheat, and scheme because he's very honest and upfront about it. Where I'm saying he can be beaten with tricks like that. So it's not just going to be a straight up, I can just wash him and win the fight because Hawkins is a lot smarter than him. So it wouldn't be as simple as people just think it is to be because you've seen him be Katakuri. I'm not even saying Luffy loses the fight. I'm just saying you can't just be like, oh no, Luffy just wins. I guess Supernova very easily. Where I'm like, no man, you gotta give everyone the credit. Everybody is going on their own journey and learning.
But here's the thing, though. Luffy has become way much more sharper than he was long ago. So I think tricks now wouldn't do that much effect on Luffy, especially that his brute force is on a tier above everyone else we've seen in the series, aside of course from the top 10 people. But still, bro, like I don't see the supernovas potentially giving Luffy a hard time. Though I
think you guys, I think you're underestimating them in general.
That's what I'm saying.
I need to see more. I'm gonna say this. I need to see more of them.
No, see, that's the thing. If you're talking about based on what we've seen, I absolutely agree with you. There's no reason for us to be like, oh no, these guys could beat Luffy. No, you don't. That's fine. If we're talking strictly feats of what we've seen, absolutely yes. Luffy is the king right now. I'm all supernovas.
Oh yeah, and I agree with you. Like if we're talking about potential, of course their potential is as great as Luffy's. So yeah, no one should underestimate them in any way.
Mm-hmm. I think like how it comes down to me, like. The way I look at their character, like it ain't even about beating Luffy. Like I don't think a bunch of them can beat some of the people Luffy done beat. Like how many of them think? How many of the supernovas do you think can like beat somebody like Dofi in a fight 1-on-1? We know Law can't do it. We know Law can't do
it. Maybe Hawkins.
Oh, what's good, Z-boy?
Hey, Z-boy. What's good?
It's like I was saying we know for a fact that Law can't beat Dofi. We know that for a fact.
Yeah,
Law and Dofi had such a long history where it was like, you know, they knew too much about each other in a sense. I got what you're saying. And that when Law was a little out of character in a sense where he was fighting with his heart more than his brain because of what happened with Corazon and Roshinante, sorry. So like, same person. But wait, whoops. But yeah, like he fought with his heart a little bit more than his head at that point.
Oh yeah, their history definitely weighed in.
I get what you're saying, but I think that there's some of them that could be Dofi. I think Kid could
actually that as a new wrinkle, I never heard it before.
Rose should definitely be able to beat Dofi.
Because I like if they can't beat Doflamingo, like I don't even want to bring up Katakuri. Like if they can't beat Doflamingo first, I don't even want to like.
I don't want to go into that, but Luffy, I mean, the fact that Luffy can even hurt Katakuri is a big deal, but we all know like he has some type of health and stuff.
I mean,
But
for one, the supernovas we know of on Wano are quite apparently scared of Jack and the Calamity. And Luffy, to be honest with you, I don't see Luffy losing to any Yonko commander from here on out. So
that's right.
in a
I
way,
also want to say this real quick. My bad, I mean to cut you off. But
No, go ahead.
no, finish what you're saying first, and I'll come back.
No, I was just gonna say something irrelevant. But
I think freaking Luffy's fight against Katakuri pretty much showed that he has godly endurance. Like, so I can't really imagine anyone
with that same endurance, yeah.
within like
I think physically, Luffy is like physically stronger than Marco physically.
Well, Marco's physically weak, though. Marco isn't.
I think he'll beat Luffy, but I think physically, I didn't think
like
Luffy.
Wait. Hemmings was gonna say something.
Apoo attacks with sound. Like, how do you really defend against that? You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty tricky. Where it's like, my point is like you just can't just underestimate it, because it's like, is there a way to shield yourself from these auditory attacks? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Close your ears. Close your ears up.
Low, your mic is low.
Oh, my mic is low?
Yeah.
Can't. But still, go on.
Oh, you said, how do you fight against them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you got a solution?
You put on some noise cancellation headphones.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I knew it was. I like saw that joke coming. That's why I let you do it.
I was gonna say if I was Luffy, I'd just take my ears and wrap them bitches around my face and beat it up.
But there's a lot of characters are faster than sound.
But you don't know that if it's like you have to hear it. What if the sound waves just hit you in general? Like, that's like that's why I'm saying, where it's like, just don't underestimate anybody in the worst generation. You can't do it. See them all as a threat, man.
I understand they're a threat. I was just giving you a way Luffy could beat them.
But then, like he said, his fruit is called a music fruit. So it could be something that manipulates sound waves. If that's the case, then covering your ears isn't gonna do that much.
It's the same way if Kid is able to actually tap into like the electromagnetic spectrum, he can control things a little bit different. Like, he can literally be on his Magneto shit, like, and pull fucking meteors from out of fucking space, shit like that. Like,
bro, we gotta take a pause here, because this stream is already legendary, since the legendary Sage has joined us, and no, not Sage the girl, but actually Sage the factual god.
Is that that's my boy? What's good, man?
Homie Sage.
What's good, everybody?
Hey Sage, what's good, my man?
That's the Gold Knight right there.
Hey, this is already legendary.
No, hold on.
Who
If I
fucked
could
it on
ask
the freeway?
Somebody was drag racing.
No,
playing Mario Kart.
But no, hold on. If I could ask, okay, you guys, just before we continue, we'll go on. Z-Boy, Sage, Big Mo, and then Six Path. Now, just real quick, y'all thoughts and opinions on the chapter.
The chapter was great. I'm not sure I feel about Momonosuke and them being ghosts. I think it's possible that these so-called ghosts are like the wheel, like the ghosts of Wano or something. So maybe that's how come he's seen Roger. But yeah, it was a fire chapter.
Okay, and Sage?
Yeah, it was a good chapter overall. Oh, yeah. And so like the part with when Taban keep remembering Ace was like good for her, because like for the whole year she's waiting, and Luffy coming and doing the same exact thing, and actually going to like release Wano from the clutches of Orochi and Kaido would give like people hope overall, especially after he bring all our food to the town.
Yeah,
and then how he basically. Yeah, and I hope it's like anybody any questions to ask, just say Luffy Taro was the one who did it. That's showing his like he ready to man up and fight anybody coming in their way now.
I also feel like that builds up like Wano possibly being his island by the end of this ordeal.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the last panel with the ghosts. everybody have to be shook by that partner. Everybody.
Bro, period. Everyone has to be.
You could literally see my face. I'm like, what the fuck? What just happened? I was so confused, bro. I'm like, huh?
The fuck?
It was crazy.
Oh yeah, on the live reaction.
Yeah.
God damn, bro. Like, I let out the biggest hot ever. I told y'all, but that shit had my head tilting, and I was like, tilting my head trying to read the names.
Like wait, Kazuki? I'm like Kimo? I'm like, like my head is like.
Bro, I was dead, bro. But yeah, Mo, what do you think about the chapter? Give your quick thoughts.
I thought it was good, but I haven't read it.
What?
Somebody get this man out of here.
Nah. That's big fact. You know it's good. You ain't read it yet, but you know it's good. You know, what's up?
Yo,
No
Somebody get
I
this
don't
man
have
out
to
of
read something to know it's good, all right?
Nigga acts like the
Man,
sage of
yo.
six pads.
Yo,
This man, Mo.
Yo, Hassan,
Hey, go ahead, bro.
that was really you that cooked the food, bro?
Hey, bro, like I said, I challenge you to name any dish and I'll fucking cook it. And I'll show you the process. Don't underestimate me, bro.
Oh, he'll make a cake.
Anything. I'll make a king that'll make me faint at least. I don't know about Big Mom, but
Wait,
You don't have cake. You can make a couple cake.
I can make anything, bro. Just name a dish. Anything.
I'm
Just
not
name
the
it.
only one. See, bruh. See, this is what I'm talking about.
We're gonna have to start calling Hassan Sanji now.
Bro, like the
I'm
weird
gonna
thing
start
is,
calling
like, I fucking hate Sanji, but still, subconsciously, I'm like him.
Bruh, no, Hassan, Sanji has the sauce, bruh. His soundtrack, the way he moves, bruh, the suit, he has sauce.
Oh yeah. Sanji's portrayal is great, but when it comes down to the actual meat of it, this dude is ass. This dude is tomfoolery, bro. Like, get the fuck out of my face.
I don't agree.
Here we
with that.
go. Here we go.
Hey.
This man Hassan.
The truth has been said.
I don't agree with that, but you
What
guys-
truth?
I don't agree. I disagree too.
Wait, what was just said? Wait, what was just said?
I mean, just
Does Sanji have the sauce?
look,
Yeah.
Sanji does have the sauce, but like I said,
Yeah.
when it comes down to the actual time when he needs to bring that sauce into fruition and make good feats out of it, that dude is doo-doo juice, bro.
No, I won't say that. I just
that's not true.
I say that in whole cake, but yeah.
Wait, can
yeah,
you
whole
finish
cake is
my
like the
thoughts?
biggest thing. But look, come on. When he was fighting Absalom, Jabra,
Mr.
missing
Prince?
too.
Mr. Prince?
Exactly, bro.
Bro, early on Sanji
Bruh,
was
first he
I'll say that.
When he was
But that
bro,
sounds-
when this man
but that sounds,
when he
you know-
finessed Crocodile, bro.
I don't
Bruh,
know.
but come on.
And
But-
people
but
kind of
wait.
forget this too, right? The reason why the Vance don't seem so much better than him, like towards the end of the arc, was because they had their suits on. You know, them suits make him like 20 times more powerful. So,
Yeah,
why we bringing up Sanji?
They was getting speed blitz. Why them suits? They was getting speed blitz.
I still don't think that Sanji's worth is just tied to what he can do in the fight, though. Like his body of work is still amazing from start to finish. I think.
I gotta put something now because people always say this that Sanji is trash because Virgo broke his leg or something.
Oh yeah, he's trash for that one.
But
He's trash for that one, bro.
That is
That
not
was-
happening.
Yeah, wait.
Always
Look
getting
through the
bones
whole
broken.
look through the whole rest of the Punk Hazard. He didn't say anything.
Yeah, but
I
he
thought
still had a broken shin.
People
No,
It wasn't- it was not broken, bro. It was
Right.
not broken.
Nami's
It was
fault.
not broken. That
Bro,
bitch was
no.
chill.
I'll tell you like this.
That bitch
This man
was
did
chill.
a Mortal Kombat flash through his leg, like all the way through. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Bro,
But
That
it
was
didn't.
literally the
Barely
only-
broke.
That was
Yeah.
the only thing that Virgo did. Virgo threw that kick and shattered
bro,
him. And
one shot.
Sanji threw three kicks. Sanji
right.
threw three
His leg
kicks
was broken.
and threw him through a wall.
You cannot
Hey,
be
guys,
He
guys,
threw Virgo out a wall. He threw Virgo out a wall. I don't
Let me pull up this.
understand.
Yo, chill.
Yo,
like,
I-
y'all gotta understand that Sanji in his fights, he gets his legs broken and everything. Like that's
Those
just
weren't
part of
broken.
his
Those were
fighting.
shattered.
Bro, he's like, okay. Well,
I think-
how would y'all? Wait.
They really got chipped.
How would
It
y'all
was
niggas
chipped.
react?
Here's the
if
thing, here's the
Zoro,
thing.
if Zoro's swords were broken, how would y'all react? Y'all would be calling Zoro trash, and then
I wouldn't call him trash depending on.
Oh,
who-
come on.
I think
If
the
it
reason
was
why
shattered,
words to get
hold on,
out.
Hassan.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, super cool here. Hold on,
Yeah,
man.
I'm good, man. What's up?
What's good, Poppy? What's good?
Let me say that real quick. Like when I look at this shit with Virgo, I look at it the same way like in Drum Island where he got like his back broken shit. Like I don't look at that nigga no different. It's just like, okay, you took the L then.
Bro, okay,
no,
if y'all just acknowledge Sanji to be just a cook, not a fighter, then yes, I wouldn't have any problem.
Hold up. Yo, Jordan, hold up. Yo, Fourth Path. I like that picture, bro.
You nigga said Fourth Path.
Oh man, this man here.
I just want to know, man, because last time I checked, Sanji seen Virgo threw 3 kicks at that nigga, and Virgo threw 1 kick and chipped Sanji bone, and y'all niggas like, oh yeah, Sanji caught the L. But Sanji threw this nigga out of the wall.
Bro. Let's look at Let me say one thing. All right. Here's the thing. Here's the problem, right? Nami was in Sanji's body, and people always forget that.
Yep.
Yeah, but the only thing that happened. Hold up. The only thing Nami did to him was snow fell on her, and then she just stood back up like.
And Sanji was in Nami's body, and we've seen what he did to her.
I mean,
all right now.
Like looking back at all of his fights, like him getting his legs broken is the norm.
Shattered. It was really short.
What bugs most people about that part is that Sanji's bread and butter is that his feet are strong. Kicking is his specialty. To go foot to foot with somebody and have his leg be the one that cracked, I think that's the reason why some people are like, oh.
You know what? Sanji didn't even. If you think about Sanji, didn't really even have to. Sanji didn't even have to block. He could have just dodged and he would have been fine.
I'm not saying
in the new world.
I don't see it as an indictment on Sanji. Like I don't personally see it, but I think I get why most people acknowledge him because that's his.
Let me just say that. Let me say that too. When it come down to that, cause like to be honest, all it really means is that Virgo had better ornament hacking than Sanji did. That's all that means. When that nigga can go full body ornament, how that's like we know for a fact that ornament isn't Sanji's forte. And like we know for a fact that for Virgo it is. You can do full body ornament and shit.
Alright, bro, so but here's the thing. Y'all acknowledge this. Y'all think if Sanji is a fighter. Yeah, hey yo, Senpai B, stop beating your meat on stream, bro.
That is not me.
I don't know, bro. Your dick is ashy or something, bro. I don't know. That sounds
like
weird.
Using a plastic bag.
That was not me.
Was that Mo?
Yeah, I'm eating some
cereal. Hey Mo, get your shit together, bro.
Fuck you.
Trash ass nigga. Hey, but here's the thing. Like I was saying, y'all don't acknowledge Sanji to be just a cook. You think of him as a fighter, and that damages not only his picture, but it damages you in the long term, since y'all be having these fantasies about him beating bigger characters and stronger characters. What? And that, bro, y'all are trash for that, and that'll only hurt you in the long run.
But he is literally both.
Let me explain that though, Hassan, because I want to like play devil's advocate to that. Like, what I'm saying is, basically what happened in that scenario is Sanji went head up with somebody that had better ornament than he had. The same thing happening to Zoro is if Zoro went head up with somebody that had better observation than he had, because he's not good at observation like he's good at ornament. We know for a fact though. We know, but this is what I'm saying though. Like, if you write that with Zoro, he doesn't look as bad, because he has better ornament. Like if he can't goddamn find somebody, we just gonna be like, okay, well that's just Zoro. But
but he still found a way around it though. That's the thing with Zoro. The thing with Sanji is Sanji
look how far Sanji can't. Wait, time. Look how far Sanji came.
How far did Sanji come from there? Sanji still can't beat Virgo.
Wait, time. Look,
he can find a way to beat Virgo.
Without a great suit, he can't.
Look,
I disagree with that. That's like saying, hold on, because that's like saying if we wouldn't have seen the end of the Pika fight, that he wouldn't have found a way to go beat Pika, but we saw how that fight ended. Like you can say that, but like it ain't a concrete fact.
No. Of course, I'm not saying he's not gonna beat Virgo because potentially people see him as that he lost that fight. I just see his level as he is right now isn't as high as Virgo's.
I just think Virgo just had better ornament.
He went from getting fractured to Virgo's leg, from Virgo's kick to blocking Big Mom's attack with his leg.
You mean getting one-shotted by UN? Is that what you mean?
What's
Is
that
that
what
what
you
actually
about
mean? You mean that he almost died?
And this man was like, okay,
He
but
got
his guns around me.
Bro, his biggest feat in the series is making a cake that didn't even accomplish its own
That's
goal.
not his biggest
You
feat.
see, and see,
He fought
and this is my
saved the
problem with
whole
some of you
island.
niggas, because you guys do shit like this. Like, you know that's not his biggest feat. You know they were fucking dead if he did not open the gates of
Oh,
justice.
come on,
Sanji
bro.
was
Saved the
goddamn
whole
dead.
island by making that
Sanji
cake.
always goes above and beyond and does something more.
But that's
after he
early on
has a fight.
Sanji though.
After he has a fight, or even if he doesn't have.
Why
one,
are you reminiscing on the past, bro? Why are you
No,
still
no.
clinging to that one good part?
No,
bro?
you just said his best feat is the cake. That's not true though. That's
After-
why I said what I said.
Because of its
Him
magnitude.
and Daifuku, bruh. He was finessing them.
How was he finessing them? He
Yo,
got one
Hassan,
hit on,
you-
bro. He got
you sound like a
he got
hater.
one hit. No, I'm
You
not
sound
a
like a
hater.
big hater. No, you
y'all are
are.
blinded. Y'all are blinded.
No,
by your
you
love
are you
for
one of the
Straw
biggest
Hats.
haters I've ever heard.
Bro, fuck
See,
that.
I'm not blinded. My energy towards Sanji's been the same since I started One Piece to the same point. I
Because
like
you're
Sanji, he's a
blinded
cool
by
dude.
your love to him.
I
That's
don't,
why.
but Sanji's not my
Nah,
favorite character or
nah,
anything. He's not in my top 20, but I still
hard on
like
Sanji.
Sanji.
I don't really think you like them to begin with, because no one's going this hard on Sanji on Zoro, bruh. I love Zoro, but I ain't going in on him like that.
Because you literally don't have anything to point out at Zoro. With Sanji,
I mean, yeah.
Oda himself is throwing shades at.
I mean, the nigga's stupid. He
Actually,
lost to a nigga with some
hold on.
nails.
Zoro,
Come on,
Zoro.
son.
What else?
Actually,
What else?
Come on.
actually,
You have no
no,
sense of direction.
No, we're not gonna do that. We're not even gonna. Actually, I got something on Zoro. The fact that he's not as good as the character post-time that he was pre. My personal opinion. I think.
I mean, that's
then
your
maybe-
personal opinion that doesn't correlate to the word fact, and hence
He got
that's not
Bro,
something that we
he-
can
he-
discuss.
He got
He has no
help.
care at the moment. He has
doesn't
no
have
care at the
any
moment. He just
character.
portrayed as a strong guy.
Bring me
That's the
feeds
only
from the
thing he does.
series. If y'all are gonna, this all started because y'all see Sanji as a fighter. Well, I say Sanji is a cook, and y'all say he's
Why
both.
not a
He's
fighter?
not both. Though.
Why?
He's
Why
just
not?
he's just a
Luffy
spare.
can finish
He's just a
him.
spare fighter. He's
That's
just a
why
fighter.
My biggest problem with Hassan is saying is that you're
Look,
tying
look,
his
look,
entire
look,
worth
look,
to being able to
Hey,
fight.
Hassan.
Look, as a
Go ahead,
fighter.
bro. Like I
Hey,
said,
what
he's
did-
just a spare
What
fighter.
did Luffy say about Sanji before he went to go rescue him? He said he was like worth how many men?
1,000. I think
That's
what he
fighters.
said.
That's fighters.
Yeah,
He's
1,000 fighters
So-
maybe because he could fly and he could
Oh,
kick
but-
people hard. But that's
but
about it.
you heard what you said though. You said it don't matter if you said fighter. You said fighter. So he's a
Like
fighter.
I said, he's a spare fighter. He's not a main.
He's a
What do
spare
you mean?
fighter.
Yes, he is the main fighter.
Oh
What do you mean? Yes, he is the main
Dude,
fighter.
Bullshit, bro.
You need to go bust
tripping
that
now.
out, bro.
You
Yeah,
tripping now.
like if you
Bro,
don't think that Sanji's the main fighter, we have nothing to talk about. There really
like
ain't
I
nothing
said,
for
this
ain't
all
nothing for us
started.
to talk about.
No. Here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. Sanji's
is
feats against
crazy.
fighters, against real fighters, against high tiers. He's not doing anything. Look at Zoro's portrayal. The thing is, the author Oda himself is not doing a great job with Sanji. That is the problem that we should be.
No, look. I think what we're missing is we need something to actually show what he's been doing, because he had Jabber, bruh. When he
Like I
fought
said,
CP9,
yeah, Oda's doing a bad job with Sanji. While he's just flaunting. Give me a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
You see, my issue is that he's just tying Sanji's complete worth just to what he can do in a fight. I'm like, but he's still a great character and he does
Look,
more.
I
That's
just
my
think
issue.
Hassan's in a bad mood.
To me,
Yeah,
what I'm trying to say in the
Let
grand
me
scheme of
point real
things,
quick. Point real quick.
Okay.
Zoro, like we all know he's a badass because pretty much he's never worked. But with Sanji, he's like the epitome of like being handicapped. Like in all of his fights, you ever think about it, like against Pearl, freaking Zeph was held hostage against pretty much his family. His Zeph was being hostage. Pretty much everything he was handicapped, and he pretty much overcomes it. He's like adversity, pretty much.
Where we on?
Yeah, that's my problem with post time skip Zoro. He's just Mihawk. Just at the second coming of Mihawk, he doesn't have the interactions with the crew he had pre time skip. He has like one character trait of being stoic and getting lost. He doesn't have any personality anymore.
But that's how you feel. I see it in a complete different manner. I see Zoro as someone who takes up the seriousness of the dangers that they're taking on now, and he's just working in correlation to that. He's just doing the best of his ability to
wait, I want to say, you said you saw the dangers of the situation?
Yeah.
Well, why did he cut down the magistrate then?
Because their main goal in Wano is to fight the Shogun, and he has.
They were supposed to hide
no.
Together.
Here's the main.
Why would you cut down a prominent figure?
He has trust in his crew and in his captain, and he has the full trust in the ability of Luffy beating Kaido. Elsewhere, a certain character didn't even trust Luffy taking him back from all the hell he was in, and discarded his own crew, discarded the responsibility he had his own.
Bro, guess what? Kaido was somewhere else.
Big Mom was right in front of him. No. Here's the thing, bro. Zoro, of course, knew that if he killed the magistrate, he'd become a world-renowned, well, not world-renowned, but at least Wano-renowned criminal, and that would make Kaido target him. Not only the Shogun and his faction, but Kaido, Calamities. Why would he do such a thing? Only because he has full trust in his captain, which Sanji lacks, or to word it better, Oda didn't handle that situation well, and that's my main issue.
Oda, what exactly is making you think Sanji doesn't have faith in Luffy? Because I don't get that. Where's that coming from?
Okay,
because the last thing we saw him say, well, last thing we saw him say, but remember?
Well, yeah, because he's a snake and he switches up, like whatever.
Ever lost. He's like, oh, we about to lose today though. We fight Luffy. Like,
I'm gonna make it clear. So from Zoe. He was the leader of the Curly crew, it was called, I think, under order of Luffy to go to Zou and wait for them there. What did Mr. Sanji do? He actually had the chance. Well, of course, what was his name? The rookie. The gangster. Oh, fuck. Capone, yeah, fuck. Capone was there, and Sanji couldn't beat him, as he said, by himself. And then, when they captured him, he had the chance to go back to the crew and continue with the responsibilities. Luffy trusted on him, and still he just went on because of his personal issues.
Can I go next before anybody else go? I just got to ask some questions. Because I gotta go get something out. Do you think Usopp and Robin believe in Luffy and they trust in Luffy?
Yes.
Then why doesn't Sanji?
Because, like I said, Sanji neglected the orders of Luffy and went on a mission of his own because of his own personal problems.
Usopp told Luffy that we like, hey, it's like. In his art, he had the same exact problem. He didn't believe in Luffy about the ship. He was
I still give Usopp
Robin
shit
ran
for that.
off on them. And they
I still give Robin shit for that
that's
too.
Fine, but you just say you believe in them. You think that they believe in them?
Yeah, now they believe in him. And no. Here's the thing. Well, if you don't get the full picture of what I'm saying, is I had a problem with Sanji then. Now I think Sanji believes in Luffy. I said it at the beginning of this whole thing.
Even what is there to talk about then?
But the problem is, because he just switched up without any reason. At least, Robin seen the promise he made, bro. But what Sanji did, Sanji neglected the orders of Luffy, and that's the biggest disrespect you can do to the captain and the crew. And he had a crew behind him. Bro, let me continue at least with the Sanji thing, because I said I agree with you. So Robin and Usopp were wrong on doing that too. But the thing is, what he did, he had crew to protect, and he
Robin tried to save them though. That hurts.
I feel like you're just glossing over the Zeph fact.
Yeah, but like he's glossing over a lot of things because he's like sad.
His personal problems.
Wait, why did Robin leave? Why did Robin leave?
Because of her
personal problems. Another thing too. Then Zoro say like in the first chapter, we met him. He was like, if my personal problems ever coming in the way between what we got going on, I'll fuck you up too.
No, he never said that. He never said that. I'm gonna tell you what he said.
What did he say then? Tell me the quote.
What he said. He said that I have ambitions to become the world's strongest swordsman. If you get in the way of that, I'm cutting you up. And that's what he said.
But how is that
Here's the
any
thing.
different?
He never said about anything about his personal issue.
Okay.
What I'm trying to tell you here is that Sanji left the crew, went to Big Mom, and when Luffy was there with him, he still didn't believe in him. When Luffy extended his hand to help him, he was like, "No, you're not. I'm not getting your help," and he proceeded to beat the evolution. Y'all know the fucked up part about that? Bro, before you go,
don't bring up Zoro. Don't bring up Zoro. Don't bring up Zoro. We got to get to the Sanji right there.
Before we get to Zoro,
it's not even that.
What I'm trying to say is, you know what that thing resulted in? Sanji beating Luffy to that extent. Luffy could have potentially died after the enraged army came in, 10,000 people strong, and people who know hockey. Luffy could have potentially been dead because he was straight out of an 11-hour fight and gonna face the enormous army all by himself. Nami was there too. The main problem is Sanji, not only did he refuse Luffy's help, he put him in danger, him and Nami furthermore, which made me really angry.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah,
Can I respond to that without being cut off?
Glossing over the fact that Zeph was held hostage.
No, hold on, Hassan. Hold on. Let Super report that.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to respond to everything. But like every time I say a sentence, I get cut off. What I'm trying to say is, in the grand scheme of things, like him having a fight with Luffy and Luffy not fighting back put him in danger, but it's the same way that he got put in danger from other crewmates in their arcs about them having problems. Like the stuff with Sanji's character and about him wanting to go save his family and wanting to like his whole character is been presented from the beginning of the story as being like he's presented as being somebody that want to sacrifice his own happiness in order to be able to like become somebody that he thinks Zeph would be proud of. That was presented in the Baratier arc. He didn't even want to leave to go like chase his dream at the beginning of the story because he wanted to help Zeph out. And they put that over his head, and that made him do something that he didn't want to do, but he changed his mind later on. As long as Luffy and cool with it, and he ain't got no problem with it, I don't understand why we got a problem with it.
But cool, you had the wrong point in what you were saying.
Remember when Sanji and Thing made up, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, tell me the damn truth. Luffy never believed his resignation anyway.
Hey, that's not what we're talking about here. Cool, this is the thing that you got wrong. You said he was ready to sacrifice his own happiness. It wasn't just that. He was ready to sacrifice his crewmates, bro. People on his crew were gonna die because of his conviction. Because of what
then he gonna tell Big Mom to go let them be free, and he thought Big Mom gonna let them be free. He
still put them in danger to death. He left them in Zoe, not knowing that. But not knowing
wait, I understand that. We doing hindsight 2020 hindsight though, Hassan. But like when you looking at the reason why Sanji did that. He thought that they were gonna be okay if he did that. Hindsight is 2020. We know that they were gonna plan to kill the Vensmos in the beginning, but Sanji didn't know that at that point in time. All he knew was like, if I go do this wedding, they'll be okay, and they'll let Luffy them go, and they'll be fine.
That's what he knew at that point in time, bro. You're standing right in front of Big Mom. What would you do?
I mean, I'm not a One Piece character to know what I'm gonna tell you. I'm not a One Piece character. If I had the power to beat Big Mom, then fuck yeah, I'm fucking her right before your eyes. But if I was a father, then I'd just run, get killed.
What would you do? You're in
the shoes of Sanji.
You have to make the same choice.
Are you gonna say yes? Shoes of Sanji's? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna believe in Luffy, and I'm gonna leave my fucking family, and I'm gonna go fight with him. I'm not gonna die because I have Luffy right beside me.
Luffy's not even there.
Luffy is God. What are you talking about?
Bro, he can't bring you back from the dead either.
And he still won. That dude got plot armor.
Bro, you know how a blood right there, bro. You can't, bro. What do you mean?
Bro, Luffy is
Hassan, what does Luffy have to do with Big Mom telling like right in front of you? He's saying Big Mom's right in front of you.
I said if I was in the shoes of Sanji.
You're not running. You're not running.
We fucking Big Mom up. So what? We gonna face Big Mom up. If I had Luffy by my side,
bro, Luffy's not right next to you, bro. Like he's saying, I got you if you say no.
Luffy jumped
he's not there
to his fucking carrier, bro.
I'm sorry, but he knew Luffy couldn't do anything against Big Mom. Bro.
And guess what Sanji did? Y'all know what Sanji did. I don't gotta repeat it. That shit is disgusting anyway.
To go save the dude that he looked at as a father figure. Like that's just how strong his relationship was.
He didn't believe in Luffy. Had he had any belief in Luffy, he would have 100.
How is Luffy gonna save that? Like,
yeah, what I'm saying. How is he gonna save Zeph in a whole nother like? Do you know how long it would take to get back there when they could just kill that man?
Luffy literally said, "I would go back to the. I would go back to East Blue to save him," and he knows Luffy was the type of dude to do that.
Listen, son. I understand it, but what I'm saying, if they got niggas that taking pictures of Zeph in their spare time, how is Luffy gonna make it back to the East Blue before they can kill that man?
Of course he can, bro. Luffy
How?
Man, you just
now you're trying to slip through.
No.
There's no way he can do that.
Luffy could literally just go back to the Grand Line, go back into the reverse mountains, and just straight up to.
Listen, what I'm saying.
Like that, bro.
I don't think you understand what we're saying.
What the hell?
If it's somebody that can take a picture of this man and they have a picture, like they close enough to him right now to take pictures of him, how can Luffy get back to the East Blue and stop them from killing him?
That is
like
imagine, but
you know you're gonna get chased by Big Mom, bro. You try and do that, you're getting chased.
What I'm saying is, if Luffy was my captain, I'd believe in anything, bro. You literally have the second coming of Jesus right next to you.
And even Jesus,
you remember
how everybody... Jesus died in Christianity.
Wait, beef. What are you saying, beef?
Man, I don't even know, man. Hassan just got me like, I don't know, bro. This shit retarded, bro. This man just wild.
This shit is not even retarded, bro. Like,
bro.
No.
Bro. I don't understand. I don't understand
way deeper than it is. But it's just not gonna work because Oda's running the series in a very retarded way. Anyway,
this nigga just said Luffy's gonna save Zeph when
of course
he's on the whole other side.
If they got shit that can fly, bro.
I don't think you heard super cool. If these niggas can take the picture,
I heard
him. Wait, I'm gonna just ask a question. So, Hassan, I know you say you believe that Luffy do it. I'm asking you how. What could he do and say? Because it will take him about a week to get.
And don't say plot armor. Don't say plot armor.
No, I'm not gonna say plot armor.
How?
The thing is, y'all are pressing me to think of a scenario when I'm telling you that Luffy is able to do anything in the series. I can think of a scenario right now. I can think of a scenario.
I agree with you that he would sail back absolutely 100%. I think the point they're trying to make is what could he have done literally right then and there, because they basically have their clutches around Zeph's neck.
When he stretch.
Yeah, but what happens if he does that and it's too late? Because
it's never gonna be too late because we know how this is getting written.
Big Mom's intelligence.
Hold on. Isn't Judge right there? So Judge can't just call one of his boys. Oh y'all got that picture? Y'all got that gun pointed in his head? Go ahead, hit that.
So they're gonna kill him, right? So they're gonna kill him. Do you think do you think in a story where Oda is writing that will happen had Sanji believed in Luffy?
We telling you.
I'm
listen,
not, bro.
No,
writing the story. Y'all are missing my point.
Hassan, the problem with that is they don't know they're in like this type of story. For them, it's real life. So.
What have I been telling y'all?
No, it's like this. Sanji says no. He gets smoked by Prometheus and stomped out by Zeus. That's it.
Wait, what?
And then Zoro, and then Nami, and then Luffy gets smoked out too.
How did he
says no? They're all gone.
Zeus, bro. Like I don't get the jump. We were talking about Luffy when he was.
Sanji says no to Big Mom.
Yeah,
he dies.
He's not gonna die. They got Luffy in front of
man, it's all good.
Okay,
He's gonna make excuses for everybody else.
I'm gonna give you a scenario. Luffy right then and there beats Kaido, beats Big Mom, beats the Germa, and beats everyone on that island. And yeah, no one's gonna kill Zeph. So what? What are you gonna do now?
He barely.
I don't give a fuck. This is Luffy talking about.
How? Luffy's not by Zeph.
They got Jinbei. So they didn't handle the Germa. I'm not even trolling.
Yeah, you are definitely trolling.
Bro, I'm not even trolling because I was one of the few people to say during Whole Cake Island that Big Mom's gonna fall. So I had full belief that Luffy and his crew were gonna take down Big Mom. What I'm telling you is that
Sanji is right there in front of Big Mom talking to her.
Yeah,
Luffy's over in the forest.
We are.
There's no way he can get past him.
You're imagining a different scenario than the one I'm painting to you. I'm telling you, when Luffy was talking to Sanji, and Luffy came in and extended his hand of help to Sanji, and Sanji refused because he still had his precious hand to hold on to, and he still had Zeph with the fear of losing Zeph. That's when Sanji should have went on with Luffy. Luffy would have beaten the ever living shit of the Germa, and then they would have plotted how to beat Big Mom, and they would
Can I ask another question?
beat Big Mom. Go ahead, bro.
Can I ask another question to you, Hassan?
Go ahead.
How does Sanji cook food with no hands?
First of all, they say that the explosive.
He didn't know that at that time.
Bracelets,
He did not know that.
No. Hear me out. The explosive bracelets are the same as the one the celestial dragons used, right? Those same bracelets didn't kill anyone. Didn't blow up anyone's head. All they did is just damage. If y'all go back and see the slave that had his head blown up, well, not blown up, but he had damage by
Is that my church? My birthday church.
But this is all in all. This is some whack answer, bro.
That's not even a whack answer. That's because your small brain can't see.
Hold up. It's 6.
Don't let Zoro get you killed, bro. Because if you're in the same situation, you'll get wiped.
Like I said, if I was
Hassan, Jordan, I gotta head out. I gotta run some.
Oh shit! This
all right,
thank you for.
Thanks, fam. Hey, Ape Life, appreciate it, fam.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry for all the cancer, bro.
Yeah, we got the topic anyways.
Hey, bro, it is.
Who's the one hiding a kid?
It was Senpai B.
I know we're gonna. Never mind. I'm not even gonna. Never mind.
Because it's like we can't. We're definitely not gonna change Hassan's mind right now.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry for.
I know. All I want to say is, I'm not a Zoro hater. I liked him more pre-time skip because him getting hurt and then him persevering, do that and still winning is really what I liked about him. Like him just overpowering do everybody to me is just I just don't like that. But yeah, go ahead.
I'd rather he just get a hard fight. Like I just want to see a high deal fight. That's all I want.
God damn.
Oh yeah, I gotta go.
Sweating, bro.
But this is great.
Hey, sorry, bro. I'm gonna have to apologize to everyone individually. God damn.
Why you apologize? This is what we do. This is
shit. But I went.
Wait, are we still live?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes, of course we're live.
Yeah, this is a dope early stream, bro. Like I thought, like y'all are streaming this early.
I really don't understand like why we talk about Sanji so much. He wasn't even in the goddamn chapter. But somehow we talking about Sanji. We talking about Sanji.
Y'all brought up Zoro.
You know how Senpai. You know how.
So wait. Because they bring up Zoro, you bring up Sanji.
No. Someone brought up Virgo versus Sanji, and that's how it started.
No.
Why?
Hassan.
Hey, bro.
It started because I asked you, yo, that was you who cooked the food, and then you were like, yeah, and then somebody said, yo, you're like
shit,
Sanji.
we found the culprit, bro. Fuck you, man.
And then somebody started saying, oh, Virgo and Sanji, and then from Virgo and Sanji, you guys started talking about how Sanji is trash.
So it's Hassan's fault.
So Hassan's fault.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Hassan, I want to know. Quick question, dog. I hopped in here for real fast. I want to know who is your plug, my nigga.
Right.
I got you on some shit.
God damn.
That's what I'm trying to say, like Hassan, so you telling me this nigga Luffy is Kuma? My nigga can just teleport wherever he want to go and like.
Bro, I love how Bane just came in screaming.
Like my nigga.
Oh no.
We over this topic. Anyway.
Nah, that shit was still wild when you said that shit. Talking about them niggas gonna save Zeph.
Bro, I gave you a scenario where Luffy would be able to save Zeph and Sanji and everything. I gave you a scenario.
How? What example did you give? What example? I want to hear this shit.
Like I said, and please,
he's gonna knock them out. He's gonna knock them out.
For the love of God, let's not bring up this topic again because it's turning people off the stream.
Jonathan, I was just trying to figure out.
Shit, my dude.
I was just trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out the same thing, Payne. I'm trying to figure it out too.
Look, like I said, Luffy is gonna beat Big Mom and beat the German.
But he struggled against Cat. Katakuri. How?
That was his goal.
Wait,
what? Give me a fucking second.
Hey, can I speak real quick? No, can I go real quick? Because I've been listening to this. Hassan's whole thing, and it's back to people that like the story. is that regardless of what we think, at the end of the day, this is One Piece. One Piece is about Luffy and his journey. So Luffy's plot hacks will overcome anything at the end of the
Man,
day.
hell no. Come on, man. That's bullshit. That's just retarded.
Wait. What I want to say, what I was gonna
That is his
say is
logic.
that
That is his
the
logic.
thing
That's
with
literally what he
Katakuri,
said.
because Bane brought it up. Luffy had his eyes
Not
set
getting
on
mad at me. That's what
Katakuri.
he said.
Had Luffy had his eyes set on Big Mom, then Big Mom would have dead as a fish,
He
bro.
still wouldn't have been able to beat her.
Look,
What do you
He still
mean?
would have beaten her because
look,
he's
man, let me
Luffy.
go real
I'm
fast.
not sure. I gotta
I'm gonna
clear
say
it out
I'm gonna
because
say
that
one
was
thing.
some wild.
Let me say one thing. The problem with that once again is Sanji doesn't know that Luffy has plot hacks. Like for them, it's real life. That's all.
Damn, we're gonna go over this again, and I'm gonna have to explain
Well,
say
all I'm
that it's a
saying is
game.
put some respect on Sanji's
Hey,
name.
I'm not
son.
gonna do that anytime, nigga. Get the fuck out of my face.
That's never
All right,
happened.
Hassan. So look. So when Sanji get that LW, and you can be the only motherfucker hating.
Bro, I'm gonna say this. If Sanji gets a W with the raid suit on, my god, y'all are gonna be some
Oh
bitches
my
if y'all
God, Bazor
celebrate
can get a
that.
new sword though. Bazor can get a new sword though.
Hey, but swords aren't a raid suit made from the people you hate the most, though, huh?
That's character development.
That's
Y'all always cry about how
character
One Piece
development.
characters don't
That's
get
something
character
that
development.
Zoro hasn't
That's
had
character
since the time skip. That's
regression.
character development.
Regression,
Hassan,
not
hold up, look, I got a question.
Go ahead,
What if that sword is made from the wood that Koina fell down the stairs from?
This nigga Mo. This nigga Mo.
Right.
Yeah, how
Right.
would you feel then?
Because Zoro took that L.
Yeah, how would you feel then? If you
I
got
would,
a sword
I would,
from the wood?
I would commit suicide on that on stream. Does that
See,
sound good?
Hassan, you creditless.
Says Bane. Says Bane. All right then.
You are creditless, bro. You said my nigga Luffy gonna stretch across the Grand Line, get this nigga dad,
Why are you
come
putting
back.
words in my mouth now? I never
That's
said
what you
that.
said.
I never
That's
said
what you
that.
said.
I said they
No,
have a
that
flying
was
ship.
someone else. Someone else was like,
Someone
what
else
do
said
stretch his arm?
A flying ship.
Oh,
Y'all niggas don't got enough cola.
I don't know what the fuck.
Anyway,
anyway, you
let's
gotta go back. You gotta go back to Zoe. You gotta go get the rest of the crew.
bro.
Let's move on.
Let's move on from this. I'm gonna say that. Let's.
Wait,
what do y'all think about the last panel? I want to know what Payne thinks about the chapter first. What do you think about the chapter?
Well, no, I love the chapter. The chapter was pretty dope. The thing that I love the most is like everybody's saying the ending, but like with me and the Hawkins fight, like I like the Hawkins and Law fight, because even though it was short and small, it was just some shit that I did not expect that we were gonna get.
Oh yeah, them niggas went at it.
Oh, exactly, bro.
Well,
God damn.
Law cut that nigga. That Law said, "I want that nigga in half."
So wait, and that's another thing that I wanted to ask. Do we think that Hawkins is fucking with Law?
Yeah.
I think they're on the same
A
level.
little skirmish.
I think they're on the same level.
Yeah.
Extreme difference.
Then the chapter show y'all they were like on the same level. Like
That's
what?
what I'm saying. Hey, why you ask us that? Like, well, you said you read the chapter.
Oh wait,
No, but I'm saying because it's like because it seemed like Hawkins was holding back, and it seemed like Law was holding back. So I just didn't know.
Did you see Law do that circle spin and cut everyone in half?
Yeah.
He was. How about who thinks Hawking and Law will be an extreme diff fight? I do.
I think they're on the same. Like
I think they're on the same tier. I think they're like the same level.
The reason why I asked that because I think Hawkins
their
is winning.
powers.
I think Hawkins is winning. That's why I asked.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I think Hawkins.
I mean,
think
Law
Hawkins
got the strongest devil in the series.
I'm
so
going
that
with
has
Law.
to count for something.
Bro, Dustin liked the chapter.
What?
Yeah, that was.
that was like,
something
what?
else.
That was more.
Why? What'd he say?
Hassan's
What'd he say
It
about
might
it?
be raining in California today.
He said he really loved the chapter.
He said he really, really, really loved the chapter. Like 3
Man,
times.
listen, man. Luffy was that guy in this chapter, and that's what I needed to see. My boy pulled up with the food, and he was on.
Oh no,
site.
and that's another thing. What do you guys feel about like the whole Thomas situation? Because she is constantly getting flashbacks of Ace. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Payne, hold up real quick. Freaking
my bad.
HTV says, didn't Hawkins hit Law with a nail? Oh, he did. So Law over Zoro.
Damn. Y'all
Well,
love
honestly, I agree with that. I agree with Law of Azoro.
Hi, Chief.
Wait, we ain't gonna go into all that, but hey, go ahead with your point.
Oh, I was just saying that because like they keep having a flashback, so I'm thinking that she's gonna say like something's gonna happen. She's gonna be like, that's just like Ace, and she's gonna be like, you know Luffy's brother, or somebody's gonna say that you know his brother.
Oh yeah,
Like, and I think that's how she gets to know.
I think
that's
that
how
would be
she
far more
finds out.
interesting than seeing Luffy straight up.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She already knows.
The way
Yeah,
I think
they're
about it,
brothers.
he like just trying to like write him like showing that they how similar they are. So like when he do say they were brothers or whatever, she gonna believe it because like he been showing it the whole time.
Well, no, I mean I'm saying my bad. That's me. I'm saying the fact that I just think that that's how she's gonna find out by somebody else telling her after she's like she'll say something. I don't know what's gonna happen, but say something happens and Luffy just does Luffy. And she's just going to say, you're just like Ace. And then somebody's going to say, oh, do you know his brother? Yeah, because notice that she hasn't said anything about Ace, like, in front of Zoro.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can
You know what I'm saying?
I can see Luffy saying it, and I can see somebody else saying it, because Luffy ain't the type of person to brag about no shit like that. But I could see Luffy, like, saying it, too. Like he like the way
I can see Luffy saying it, but I'm just saying it'd be more impactful if somebody else said it.
I might disagree with that. Cause like you remember in Dressrosa when it's the same thing I always tell people ever since that shit came up. Like in Dressrosa when he go tell Rebecca that his real name is Luffy. I'm Monkey D. Luffy. I'm the man that's gonna become king of pirates. That's impactful because he's the one that's saying it. It's like if he say like,
to be honest. Okay. I didn't think that was that impactful for the same reason that it's like it was told to her like several times. That nigga name is Luffy, not Lucy. I get what you're saying, but I don't know. That one was kind of a.
I had a whole bunch more stuff to say, but you couldn't.
My bad, bro.
It don't matter.
No, I want to hear your point, your opinion. My bad. That's just me. My bad.
Yeah.
Hey, but let's address the elephant in the room. Well, how do y'all feel about the last panel? Let's go in order. Let's go in order. Go ahead, Big Mo.
Like I said, well, I have a question because I haven't read it.
God,
like I said, so
Mo, you gotta read it, fam.
God damn.
You gotta drop out the stream and read it and then come back.
Exactly.
Hey, so what's your question, Mo?
Have you ever gotten in a fight?
This man. Huh?
What? Jordan, how do you feel about the last panel?
Anyway, it was cool. I mean, just like I said, I didn't like it for the fact that it makes more questions and answers. But I guess it gave more questions about what's happening in Wano. But it was cool.
So you don't think we'll get it?
Suspense.
You don't think that we're gonna get it next chapter?
Nope. I think we get answers probably later on this year, probably like November, December, probably. But no. You know how this goes. You get it.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm giving Otis some credit because of the fact that we didn't think that we was gonna see the fight. We thought we was gonna go through different. I'm not saying everybody.
I'm about to say, how many of y'all niggas really thought we wasn't gonna see them niggas fight? Y'all niggas is wild.
I don't understand y'all. If Otis said he's supposed to be making Marineford look like cake work, man, come on. We need to be seeing that fight then. Y'all niggas.
Oh yeah, this is not the time for solid.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying. A lot of people saying it's too early in the arc. It's this, that, and the third.
Hell no, it's perfect.
Hey, Zoro, what do you think about the last panel, bro?
I mean,
got any like speculation or something?
No, I like that the thing where those two graves that were kind of hidden. It's probably gonna say Roanoa on them.
I heard that. I heard that about I think it was you who said it first.
Yeah.
I
heard it on Reddit and Oro Jackson.
So basically,
one of them gonna say Otama.
Now, if I get this right, the theory goes something like this: Zoro, or Barrett, or someone who relates to Zoro is a retainer of the Kazuki clan, right? Is that
Yeah,
what?
You know what I would want? Honestly, I think that somebody that Zoro's family member, if he does have somebody that's relation to Zoro and Wano, I feel like they're gonna be a shogun.
Nah, that's corny.
man, I mean, that'd be
No,
They
because
just got that with
not it wouldn't be corny because he had to fight him, and they had to be hella strong. You know what I'm saying? I think it'd be dope because it'd be different than pretty much every other thing we've seen in One Piece. As far as like when somebody means something to them, they don't really fight them.
Hey,
You know what I
Bane,
mean?
go ahead while you're at it because you're already next in the line. So what do you think about it?
I think that it's gonna give us a lot of it's like a lot of questions. It's really dope though because that's like when Zoro said, "Yeah, it definitely surprised me." When he said when Zoro said it definitely surprised me. I feel like it's gonna be something like as far as like the ghost, like you know in Japan they have the suicide forest, and
Oh
they
yeah,
and
yeah.
they say that you can hear the ghost and shit like that. So I'm of the belief that there's probably going to be a ghost, or hell, even maybe even Brook will be able to like, you know what I'm saying, like not resurrect them, but resurrect their soul from the other side.
That's a
So
pretty
it
cool
could be a
idea.
lot of good things, but that's it.
Hey, I don't know if Sage is here, but Sage, if you're on, give your thoughts. No,
no,
I
he's
think
muted.
Senpai finished. Go ahead. Oh,
Yeah,
no, here's
I,
Sage. Go ahead,
I
Sage.
mean, basically, from Jamie's box, translation, they said 7 ghosts, right?
Yeah.
But the manga stream just said Wano's ghosts. So I don't know which one is correct because there's 3 Kozuki and 5 retainers.
Yeah.
So,
There's 8. I think Jaimini is corrected it. They have it now just as a set up as ghosts. They don't. They deleted
Yeah,
the 7.
okay, right, because the 2 retainers could possibly be either Orochi and someone else we don't know, or Orochi and Shuten Maru. Because Oda
Oh,
is making a point for Shuten Maru going against Orochi.
I
And
didn't even
that'll
think about
probably
that.
be like one of the climax plot points of Wano arc, in my opinion, for the power struggle in Wano right now.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That would be interesting.
wait, what do you say?
The
I couldn't really understand.
Shuten versus you know how Orochi and Shuten Maru, the thief they kept talking about. What if one of the
Yeah,
graves is well, both of the 2 of the graves is one of Orochi and one of Shuten Maru? Because I think the graves is gonna the grave people are gonna be the center of Wano and whatever Wano's plot revolves around.
Wait, do you think the graves are gonna be connected to the trees from like that Nolan flashback?
But Nolan, maybe if Nolan went to Wano.
No, because you know how
I
they
don't
said
think so.
the trees had like their ancestor spirits.
Hmm.
Well, that's what I was saying because that's why I was saying that they probably actually see them and talk and are able to talk to them. That's what I'm thinking.
Give me a second.
Wait,
Hater,
who
what you
was
think about the
next?
chapter?
Me, I thought it was cool. I thought like a 6.5 out of
Oh my
10. I
goodness.
didn't. But no, at the night they bad. It's just it was decent. Like it
Oh
was
my
just no. So
goodness.
it was
Jordan, you
cool
are
for me.
trash, my nigga. You
That's
are
one.
I'm
trash,
cool.
bro.
But
6.5.
That's
but
not
I
yeah,
say
disrespectful.
I say it's a 7 and I say it's an 8, but 6.5 though.
Man, Jordan is
It's
disrespectful,
not
bro.
anything bad. It's nothing that bad. It's like for me, like I say a 10 is like when I fanboy out. For me personally, a 9 is getting close to fanboy now. I'm super hyped. 8 is good. You know, it was a good chapter. No, it was good. 7 is it was no, it was cool. It was great. And then 6.5, 7 is like all the same area, like just decent. No, I liked it.
Man,
You know,
you are
I like
trash,
it.
my guy.
But I'm not gonna say it like I wasn't anything for me to like go crazy over. To be honest, it wasn't anything I could go crazy over. But I liked it. I liked the chapter.
Eh.
I
Hey,
liked it.
super. We saved the best for the last. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, like the way I look at it, when I look at the stuff about the grave, I'm gonna say like the same thing I said earlier. I just think like to me, I don't think they dead because we know for a fact that they are alive. Like if they've been dead this whole time, like that's a reach for me to believe that they've been dead every single time we done seen them in the story because of one chapter. That's a reach, and I ain't finna like if they dead, they dead. But I don't think they're dead. I think like they met somebody in the past, like 20 years ago or something like that, that had like
a devil fruit. Yeah.
That could like free on some crap just woke up. And that's why. Yeah, it's some kind of devil fruit there, like basically some similar to that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah,
I think to be honest, I think somebody had a genjutsu fruit. Like not really like genjutsu, but like
God damn.
I mean, I'm just saying like something that could make everybody think that it's one thing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't know. The thing is, like, it extended beyond Wano, and we had this shit with Momonosuke and what he said, and that wasn't pertaining to the timeline, and that was just weird. So I think in so one way or the other, they were present 20 years ago in the same form. Maybe
I agree.
From a devil power perspective. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Go ahead, Jordan. Do the honors, bro.
Hey, appreciate everybody for coming through. You know, my boy Cool, Beef, Hemmings, man, Martin, Big Mo, Z Boy, Six Path. Who else am I forgetting? Oh yeah, Payne, Jay Hudson, even coming through. Appreciate everybody. If I forgot you for coming through, thank y'all for supporting. I know we got cancers. You know,
I know we are trash.
We all live for is the cancer. We all are trash. That's super cool. We get trash someone in here. Hey, I guess trying to.
Hey, I mean, there's two hosts. One of them could be.
Oh yeah.
God damn.
Oh yeah. Also too, if y'all right now, if you're here, you want to be trash, go ahead plug your stuff in. If you got something to plug in, be trash right now. It's your time. If not, other than that, thank y'all. We'll be back later.
Hey, peace. Shout